guys, welcome back to the adventures of Hpsquared. I'm Hemil.
I'm Heerali.
And this is episode 4.
All about expectations.
Yes, expectations. Any expectations that you...
Expectations specifically in the Asian community.
Okay, yeah. That's a big topic.
We haven't even thought about the title, guys. We're coming up with this on the spot, so...
Yeah, we are. So we are expecting something of ourselves, I guess.
Yeah.
And my first question to you, Heerali, is did you have any expectations, whether that be yourself, whether that be your parents, family, whatever?
I had expectations of myself, like really high expectations of myself, but I would always fall average, so I always used to be disappointed. And even if I did do well, I was like, oh, I could have done better at this. Whereas my parents knew how hard I worked, so I was very lucky in the sense that if I got a B or a C, they would still be quite proud of what I did. But I know some Asian parents are very much like, if you don't get an A or A star, you're a failure. Or if you don't become like an engineer or a dentist, doctor, or work in computing, then you're a failure. So there were like these certain categories of jobs that you could do and you couldn't really deviate from that. How about you?
My parents are fairly similar. They wanted us to, well, I say fairly similar. They were happy with the grades we got and whatnot. They obviously pushed us to get A's and A stars, but they were never heavy on it, if that made sense. I studied with a lot of people that sort of had parents that were A star or nothing. And having that is just an expectation itself. It comes with huge pressure, and at the end of the day, you can't always achieve that. I guess you've got to take what comes. I assume you had good exams and bad exams.
Yeah, of course, we all did. But I think it was interesting because when your sister got her GCSE results, I remember being like over the moon with them. But I think your family were a bit like, oh, she could have done better at this, or she could have done better at that.
Yeah, but that's not. I think that's sort of them in a nutshell. They did the same for me.
That's interesting.
Ryan, I'm not really going to talk about because he didn't take his exam, so but he got the grades that he deserved, or I think I can't remember his grades properly, but we'll say deserved.
I think they were like living through. Well, in this example, your sister, they were living through them. So when she didn't achieve the best in one of her subjects, I think it was like, oh, like why didn't you get there? But it wasn't because of the disappointment in her. It was more like they strive for the best because they didn't get the best. So I think it was more to do with that.
Yeah, and I guess she's obviously the brightest of the three, so there was that. But those were the expectations. I guess those are early expectations, guys, and we're going to focus on marriage.
Marital expectations? Is that how you would term it?
Yeah, you probably would term it as marital expectations. And we've got various topics to go through, like gender roles, social media versus real life, identity shift after marriage, and then there's a pressure timeline as well. And then obviously Heerali's
game time.
Yep, her wonderful game time. So guys, we'll switch our focus slightly to marital
expectations. Wow. You were clearly great at English, weren't you?
I failed 3 times.
Great. I'm sure your parents are proud of you.
They are.
So yeah, if we talk about gender roles, so gender roles in society, especially in an Asian society, I think are very interesting because women are always taught to be in the kitchen, to cook, clean the house, clean the toilets. They're basically like housewives, essentially. Because I think back in the day, women were running the house, whereas men would go out and work. And I think some of that has translated into modern life at the moment, that women are still expected to do things after marriage. So before marriage, obviously I was a daughter in a household and I was still expected to help out as and when, but I wouldn't be grinding every single day, doing the clothes, doing the cooking, doing the cleaning. Like I would just help out here and there. Whereas now I've got my own house and now I've realised, oh my God, there's so much to do as like a wife and like a woman of the household. And don't get me wrong, Hemil does help out, but I think you only realise when you get married that it becomes like part of your personality almost, cleaning, doesn't it? Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's like adaptation, isn't it? But it's an expectation followed by an adaptation, I guess.
But you definitely adapted well, I think, because Hemil came from quite a big household where there were quite a few women that did the work, and even though they shared the workload, there were certain things that he wouldn't have to do, and he's picked them up really well since marriage.
Yeah, cooking was obviously never my forte.
And it still isn't.
It still isn't.
Oh, you make breakfast?
Yeah, I try. I attempt. After the gym, scrambled eggs.
The 60 eggs. Guys, he bought 60 eggs from Costco the other day, and
Good deal.
he's loving making scrambled eggs every day.
Good deal. I mean, protein shakes and what have you, we're on those. So, yeah, I tend to make the breakfast, and then Heerali concentrates on the other 2 meals. But I think fundamentally, I came from a family, like Heerali said, where a lot of women were involved, and a lot of roles were shared between those 3 women, or 4 women. But we were given tasks at times, I would say, like cleaning the table, hoovering, mopping, and we would pick up these little tasks, but it was never expected of us, if that made sense. Because for some reason, at times, I fell into that mindset, sometimes going, oh, my mum will do that, or my bow would do that, or Ginny would do that, or Rihanna will pick that up, and it's like, then eventually you start coming out of that and going, hang on, no, you should be doing that as well. So, you know, things do get into my head at times, and I'm a culprit of that, but hopefully you see a personal change. I don't know.
Yeah, I think sometimes some things I'm like, Hemil, you haven't done this yet, or Hemil, you haven't done this. I think some things he either forgets to do or he thinks it's already been done, but purposefully I sometimes have to leave things because it's like, I can't be doing everything. And don't get me wrong, he helps, but I don't know, just a man needs nudging sometimes. So, but I think you do it, like you do share the workload quite a bit, and you do take pressure off of me, especially when I'm like ill, or like even in general, like some things have just been done, especially if I go to London for a week or come back, bed sheets have been changed, house is all clean, so it's just nice because we pick up the workload when we need to do it.
I think things slightly change, don't they, when you get married, right? And the expectation, you've got to take it upon yourself to be a little bit more mature, a little bit more street smart, if you want to say that word, to be able to adapt to your situation. You know, there are going to be people out there that don't. And I think you make a good point about illness. You know, what happens when a woman is ill, for example, right? Does the man pick up the load?
Yeah. And this has happened before to us, like Hemil struggled to cook and he's like, now what do I do? And he's called his parents like, oh, can you make food for us? But it's that whole evolution that men need to probably learn how to cook. Now, well, I'm speaking to you guys, but obviously some men do know how to cook, which is absolutely fantastic. But I've married someone who's quite poor at cooking, and I think he probably wishes he was better because it would help us out a bit more. But that's just something that he's grown up with, like he's never really learned how to cook. So
yeah, I've never really learned how to cook. My strengths really lie in other areas, and I won't lie about that. I'm an honest person.
But he doesn't, like, disclaimer guys, he does pick up the work in other senses. Yeah. It's not that he just doesn't cook and doesn't do anything. No. He does do other things.
So like the Hoover. I love
the Hoover and all the DIY stuff.
Yeah. But that's another like expectation, isn't it? It's funny you say DIY because it's like the man has to do the DIY.
Yeah, but that's interesting. I was speaking to my friend the other day, and she actually does all the DIY in the household because she's the more creative one, whereas her partner doesn't. So, but obviously they're not from an Asian family, so is this again an Asian expectation that men, like, it's kind of like the blue jobs and pink job situation, that men do the DIY, the taking out the bins, the Hoover, whereas women do like the cleaning, so like the dusting, cleaning the toilets, cooking, all the pink jobs. So I don't know if that's kind of part of an Asian family as well. Like,
I see where you're going with that. It probably is more an Asian family, but then is it because men have also done that job, and I don't mean to sound sexist, they're a lot longer, hence the experience.
Maybe.
And it could be outside the Asian culture as well. But again, like, I'm not an expert at DIY, so cupboard situation, we have to call somebody in to do those. And again, that person was male. So the people that we've called in, like the guy that we came to do the wood in the bathroom, he was male. So it's one of those things where maybe males have evolved, but that's where I'm glad, like, in now these courses that have come about, the expectation is changing that men have to do these roles.
Yeah.
Women are actually doing these courses. What are they called? T levels, I think they're called. So construction, what do you call wood? Carpentry, things like that. So, you know, it's good. Expectations are changing, and I think it's a big thing. For us, we don't expect anything of each other. Essentially, we just
help each other out, because that's what partnerships for at the end of the day. And I think we discussed that because we do come from slightly different families where the roles are slightly different, but I think we've merged to create our own sort of like rules and how we want to grow up, and if we were to have kids, how we would want them to see us and learn from that as well.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, yes, like Heerali says, we are from not complete different families, but slightly different background families. But it's, again, you learn what you see, is what I'm a big believer in, right? You've learned to see what's in your household, I've learned to see what's in mine. And we can, sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. But here we are, guys. Gender roles are very different, like, are very defined, I would say, but they are changing.
Definitely. I think we are expanding in the Asian community, which is a real positive change that we're seeing, that men are starting to help out more. And I know a lot of Asian couples now, the men actually cook in their household, which is great. I think that's an amazing change, because at the end of the day, the man and the woman, they both do a 9 to 5, so they're both working as hard as each other. So why should the woman then have to cook all the time afterwards? And I think me and Hemil had this discussion that I won't have to cook for 7 days a week. There'll be like certain days where it's like we'll have leftovers, or we'll have a takeaway, or we'll go out or something. And obviously we're on this healthy eating wagon, if you've seen our bonus episode. But no, like, it's been nice because I don't have that pressure every day, which is quite nice.
But also, like, cooking, I guess for those out there that don't cook, right, do pick up the other jobs, I would say, because... And
like they should, like, because cooking is a big portion of housework or household chores. I don't know, would you count it as a chore? It's like part of daily life.
It's probably more, it probably is a chore.
Yeah, probably part of daily life. Like, if you enjoy it, it's different. But yeah, I think they should, because it's hard to do the washing, the clean. Like, the washing is just like insane, because it's like you take the clothes out, you put them in the washing machine, you let it wash, then you put the clothes out. If you don't have a dryer, then you fold them. Like, it's a whole like day's worth of work.
It's a whole episode.
It's a whole episode.
It's a whole episode.
Yeah.
But like, so I know that for us, the way that it works, Heerali will cook, okay? I will then pick up the washing or put it in the dishwasher. It's very simple, but there could be a lot left over. Like last night or a couple of nights ago, she made chicken tikka and wraps and whatever, and there was a lot to wash. You know, not everything's going to fit in the dishwasher. I had to wash some of it. Some went in the dishwasher. Some residue and all of that went in the bin. And then that was me picking that up on a certain given day. What day is our normal bin day? Tuesdays, isn't it? Yeah, Wednesday.
Actually, you need to put the bins out today.
Yeah, so bins will go out today, and I will then collect all the bins, put them in whichever bin is going to be collected tomorrow, and do it that way. And we just know that flows with us. And hoovering, like the hoovering, I will do. I don't know why, I just love hoovering. Like you've probably heard from the other episodes, Shake and Vac and all these products. Love it. Heerali probably do the dusting, so we are sharing.
Yeah.
And if there are times where Heerali's ill, for example, then I will pick up the cleaning, and you know, when she's away, bed sheets and whatnot. So we do work well together, and I think like we don't expect anything. Like you don't expect, well, you sort of do.
Well, I do. Sometimes I leave tasks on purpose because I'm like, well, you can do that now, I'm tired.
Like the bed sheets when you come back from London after a week.
Oh yeah, I do expect. I definitely
expect
fresh bed sheets when I come back.
But yeah, guys, please let us know like what different roles and expectations you might have within your household or within your daily life, for example. It's good to know. But yeah, do let us know on that. Heerali, what are we moving on to next?
We're going to move on to social media expectations, which is quite interesting because it's a huge thing, isn't it, now? Like, the world is influenced by social media, especially things like TikTok. TikTok have so many reels of like cleaning and like gender roles and husband and wives. So yeah.
It's very interesting. You know, I'm sure you did. I certainly did. Before we got married, I saw loads of reels
of how married life's going to be.
be. You know, this all what was it? Phrase it, rose tinted glass or something.
Basically, social media portrays marriage through rose tinted glasses, and I think, it's definitely not like that. It's a lot more hard work than people romanticize this whole idea of first year of marriage, and it's like the best thing. And don't get me wrong, it's the best thing, marrying your best friend, where you get to do life with them, and it makes the little
Why your best friend?
Sometimes, you get to do life with them, which is so nice, and like it makes. Let's move that hand away. It makes What was I going to say now? I lost my
You
train
were
of thought.
saying, like,
And it makes like the hard things easier. So like the chores and the cooking the dinner and like all those little bits, it just makes it so much easier. And even going to the gym because you have a partner to do it with. But also,
motivation.
yeah, but also at the same time, like it doesn't portray it well, I don't feel, because it doesn't really show the negative sides to it, or like the hard parts of marriage that you have to work at, like the differences, like you both come from different families, you have to figure out like different habits and different lifestyles, like merging together. It's no one gives you a handbook for it.
There is no handbook, right? And you're learning on. It's almost like an apprenticeship. You're learning on the job without getting paid.
Without getting paid, thanks.
You know, and it's.
You're lucky you get me for free.
I included both of us in that. But yeah, it is literally like an apprenticeship, and you're consistently learning. You're learning about each other. You're learning about the habits, like you already said. But fundamentally, it's also like you see all these reels, and people are like, "Oh, my married life is this. My married life is that." Yeah, but that's great. But what about the inside stories? Like, oh, married life is great. Don't get me wrong. It is.
Is it?
I would say it is. You know, being with you all the time. It's crazy, but it's good. You know, Heerali singing and whatnot during the workday keeps me entertained. But
He thinks I'm crazy.
it's a good crazy, guys. It's a good crazy. It's a good crazy. But we're not saying we've got a negative married life, not at all. But we obviously know social media portrays it in a certain way, and we do want to say like we have arguments, like any couple
do. Yeah.
Like
bickering, arguments.
You know, we've bickered about the stupidest things previously.
Yeah, but social media doesn't portray that couples have arguments and how to get over them. Like, there's no. That's what we need. Don't we? We need like reels on arguments and how to get over them. Not, oh, I want to have like a date night with like M&S picky bits and painting each other. Like that's not going to help me achieve a lot in my married life, is it? But you learn on the job. Okay, well, we're not doing painting anyway. That's not part of that. Hey, do you remember you got me those pack of date night cards? We actually need to look at them.
We do. Yeah, we do. We do need to look at those. But social media is great. It's good. But guys, like we've said, follow it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, follow it with a pinch of salt, because life's not, what was it? All rosy.
It's not all rosy. It's not all rosy. You know, there's difficult times, you know, and it's like, oh, what about this now? What about that now? Like, I have a busier lifestyle than Heerali does, slightly. So that is something where I haven't seen reels on this as much, where social media talks about how one partner might have a busier lifestyle than the other, and I have a never-ending sort of week, if that makes sense. You know, I've consistently got things on days where I probably don't want to have those, but that is part of my second job, and Heerali's adapted to that really well, and that's something that I never saw on social media actually, about those expectations of how can you handle your partner having two jobs. But you handled it really well, and that's, you know, did I expect that of you? Probably not this quick.
Well, I didn't expect that of me either, to be honest, but I'm loving my alone time, guys. That is so nice. Just having self-care days 2 to 3 times a week, like, I'm not complaining.
You know, sometimes you need a little bit of you time, a little bit of time to figure yourself out, because it leads us into our next sort of topic about identity shifting, and what do we mean by identity shift, so that the viewers know what we mean by it.
So identity shift is, so obviously we both have our own identities before marriage, we both have our things that we do on a day-to-day basis. This is not about your personality changing, it's about what you do on a day-to-day basis or on a weekly basis, how that transition happens after marriage, and do you keep things the same, do you have to change things slightly to accommodate your partner. And I think it's really interesting in marriage, because regardless of you saying that you have a busy lifestyle, I really think that you've reduced the amount of activities you do to ensure that I feel comfortable and I feel confident moving to a new area and stuff. And it must be hard for you, because you're so used to doing cricket like 5-6 times a week or whatever it is. Now you've like reduced it, and I think that's probably hard for you. But for me, I really appreciate that, because it's like you're spending time with me, you're getting me used to the area, enjoying like the first few months of married life.
Did you expect me to sort of reduce? Did you expect me to reduce?
I thought no. definitely not. I thought that would be really hard for you to do, and I thought that he would really struggle to say no, but he's done that quite well, which has been really good. And I think for me, an identity shift has been like, I used to eat out a lot. I used to just chill at home. Like, I didn't really used to do much. Whereas now I'm like constantly on the go. Like, I need to clean this, I need to do this, I need to do that. Like, I can't eat out as much because now we've got a mortgage. So now we have to budget and like healthy eating, and it's a lot in one go. So I think it's not changing my whole identity, but I think there is a slight shift into being a bit more responsible with like money and finances, and being more responsible with what you do. And yeah.
Yeah, you know what, guys, identity shift is massive. And like Heerali says, it's not just personality, but it's you see a lot of couples' personality change. I don't think we've changed one bit. We're still ourselves, we're still our natural selves.
I think we've reduced the amount of things that we used to do when we were like single, or when we used to live in separate places and we didn't have a mortgage, but now we're just more responsible, as I said.
Yeah, so we've gone the other way with identity shift, I guess. You know, you find couples, like I just said, like their whole personality changes. Like they put up this front, whereas we haven't. We've continued to be ourselves. Even when we go out, we're still ourselves. What we've done is the shift we've made is just become more responsible, right? And that is responsible for one another first and foremost, but secondly, our home and what we do and the expectations we have of each other.
Oh, I'm definitely not more mature. As Hemil said, I still go around singing around the house. I still act like a child sometimes, but he married me for me, so my thing is, why should I change my personality to be this like mature, stereotypical wife as such, when I am who I am, and that's who you fell in love with. So
absolutely be yourself. I don't want you to change one bit, and you know that's on record now, so you can, if ever,
I'll replay that to you when we're in an argument
don't change yourself, honestly, because then you lose yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's big. You know, you don't want to lose your personality, you don't want to lose your character, because that's who you grew up to be, and that's what you want to be in the future as well. Whoever you want.
Oh, sorry, am I boring you?
Late nights, guys, don't do them. But yeah, identity shift, man. Like, I'm trying to think, like, how else could we think about identity shift? Have we had less dates? Probably not.
Yeah, I think they've been shorter, like we'll just go for a quick lunch rather than like a whole day thing. But it was different because we were in a long distance relationship, so I think for us it was like we had to have a meaningful day whatever we did. So now they're like short snappy dates rather than like long ones.
Yeah. But I think every day's a date day for us, essentially. That's the way I feel, because it's
I
like,
mean, I probably
it's not romantic, but it's...
No, I disagree with that, because I think we actually have to purposefully make a date. So we're not doing like household chores and
I get your
stuff,
point.
You know what I mean?
I get your point, yeah.
Which we probably don't do enough.
No, we don't. My point was like, it just, every day when you sit at the table with the person that you married, it's like, oh, this feels like a date. But it's obviously not a date, it's just feeling like a date.
He's trying to get away with not having to pay for a date, everyone.
Hint. But no, nothing's, we haven't really changed it, Ollie, and I appreciate it for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else? There was one other thing that I was going to say. Yeah. It was about, so you talked about cricket and adapting, obviously for your holidays, right? And for me, that was,
Oh yeah, how could I forget about holidays?
I was like, so for me the question was, how will Heerali adapt to my lifestyle? And do I expect her to adapt? My answer would be initially no, because I was like, it's fairly hectic and it's going to be difficult. So I guess you probably had the same questions for me, right? You know, I did put up, what was your expectations of me?
Well, I'm lucky in terms of holidays. My mum's a travel agent, so I have travelled the world. At Vash at the Holiday Village, go follow her on Instagram, book your holidays. But Hemil hasn't travelled as much as I have, so he doesn't have that travel bug, and I was determined to get him on the travel bug. Obviously, we've gone to a few places together, but I knew it would be difficult to get married, get a mortgage, and just be like, yes, we want to travel the world, because finances obviously don't allow. But I think slowly I've started feeding to him that I want to go here, but I obviously understand that I'm not able to go to like 6-7 destinations a year like I used to be able to, with no financial constraints. But I think you're quite excited for new adventures, and I've understood the fact that we can't go on holiday like so often, but we can still do it and make memories.
Yeah, so I expected Heerali to adapt. I will say that. and she's adapted really well. I think she expected me to say yes to holidays, but I think she also expected me to say no as well, and that's what I've done. But we've made a compromise, and a conscious compromise. So look, we can't do 10 holidays here. We can't do 7 holidays here at this moment in time. Anyway, what the future holds, we don't know. But can we fit in maybe 3, maybe 4, right? A year. It's a long shot. Well, I say it's probably not a long shot if you do mini breaks. Can we do that? It's probably achievable, and that's what we've come to, and that's what we expect of each other, and that's what we wrote about in our plan for this year. That can we do 3 or 4, and if we achieve that, then great.
Great, yeah. Then we're happy.
We'll understand if something happens, and we expect that something might crop up at a certain given time, and things might not go away, and that'll be absolutely fine. But at this moment in time, there's nothing stopping us. But we just expected each other to adapt, and that's one thing, guys, in marriage where adaptation is an expectation. It should be an expectation. But we've done it really well here, Riley, and I think we need to give ourselves a pat on the back.
Yeah.
For that.
And also, I think bringing this back to the topic about Asian expectations about after marriage, I think a lot of women especially do have a complete identity shift, and they go completely to like their husband's side of the family, and they become in their shell. They lose their personality. They kind of drop everything to be able to learn a new life as such, which I don't believe is correct. But I do think a lot of Asian families that I know of and Asian daughter-in-laws have gone through that, which is really sad, I think, first and foremost. But I think it depends on the family you marry into, and how the daughter-in-law feel, and where the daughter-in-law comes from, and how they've been brought up as well.
Yeah, I think it's an expectation, isn't it? It's a given expectation that you obviously visit the boys' side a lot more, and that's absolutely fine, right? I don't have an issue with that. Where my issue lies is when, when those expectations start to become changes, if that makes sense. And if somebody said to you, oh, you can't go because you've got so and so to look after, or you can't go on holiday this year because you've got to stay at my house all year round. I think that'd be totally wrong. Although my parents wouldn't say that, I'm just giving you that example. And there's certain expectations where people might just say, you know what, Heerali, you can't go. It's like, well, yeah, you can go. You're your own person at the end of the day. Go.
Yeah, I think it's different also when a couple live with their in-laws compared to we don't know if to say we're lucky and we're not lucky. I think there's pros and cons, but we live separately to my in-laws, but we go there quite regularly. But I think life would be very different if we did live at the in-laws, and I think there'll be a lot more adjustment from my side that would have to be made.
Yeah, and the expectations might be slightly different, and who knows? We just don't know. We're looking at that enough to have our own house for first and foremost. Would we like the mortgage overhead? Probably not.
Yeah, we prefer to go on more holidays.
But we've got our own house and whatnot, and that's absolutely fine. But we don't know what the expectations would hold had we been living there. We just don't know. We can't answer that question unless we live there. But anyway, guys, we'll swiftly move on, and the next one is the pressure timeline, Heerali. Tell us what this is about.
It's a lot of pressure. So I think in an Asian community, there's a lot of pressure to get married in your 20s, mid to late 20s. But nowadays, people are getting married in their 30s, and that's become more and more common, and people are having kids later and later. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? That shift, I think, in generations, that now people are getting... We got married quite early. Like, how old am I? 27, and Hemil's 28, and we got married at 26, 27, which is quite young now. Right? For the Asian, Indian community, let's say the Gujarati community, because I don't want to widen that, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're not sure on other cultures. But for us, we've probably gone against the new norm slightly, where people are getting married a lot later. So I know people that, and not atting anyone, but particularly in my family, I've got a couple that are post 35 and they're not married, and that's absolutely fine, right? But they are living their life the best that they can, and it's just they've gone away from that pressure timeline.
Exactly.
And they've gone away from the norm, and that's good.
And it happens when it happens that you cannot put pressure on things, and that's what the Asian community don't do well, because pressure is just going to push you further and further away from the goal.
Big one.
And that's another thing. So, like, obviously we got married And some people have already asked us, oh, when are you having kids? And it's like, hold on a minute, we literally got married 2 minutes ago. We just about got a house. Like, let us survive first.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
You
like,
know,
it's so much pressure. And I think that's a horrible question because some women could be trying for children. And obviously, they might not be able to have children. And for the Asian community, some of the Asian community to be like, oh, when you're having kids, and to put that immense amount of pressure can really push someone down.
They can. You just don't know if. I think you just mentioned that people could be trying, but what happens if they've had
a miscarriage?
Yeah, thanks for taking the word out of my mouth. I couldn't think of it. But if they have had a miscarriage, right, and then I start going to, oh, Heerali, when are you going to have children? When are you going to have children? You've had a miscarriage. You're going to be thinking, like, why are you asking me this? Like, I've just gone through this.
Yeah.
And you aspire, and I think there's a lot of pressure when it comes to the Asian side of things. You know, like, you get a girlfriend, the first question is, when you get married?
Oh, yeah. And I think you had a little bit of that pressure, didn't you?
Yeah, it's funny. Don't get me wrong, it's funny at times. But then when one or two people ask it, you're okay. But then when 15, 20, and it's the same question all the time, it's like, I've only been dating her a month. Let me sort of get to know her a bit more, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And then you go on.
And you're the sort of person who like withdraws as well. If someone asks you to do something, he's like, no, I'm not doing it. I'll do it on my own timeline, and he'll push further and further back. And I think that's how you were, weren't you?
Yeah, I didn't expect the thing, and then when you get married, it's like, oh, you'll have kids soon. No, pal. No, not anytime soon. Let us two recover first. Let the families recover. We don't need any more headaches at this stage.
Yeah, exactly.
And like he already says, holidays and cricket and stuff like that. Let us enjoy it. You know, we don't want that pressure. We don't have that pressure from our families for a start. But we know that other people, and this is why we're trying to be reaching that sort of side. To you know what, sometimes you just got to take it in one ear and out the other.
Out the other, yeah.
Because the more pressure you put on it, the more you're going to sort of, I guess, sink deeper. But guys, honestly, it's good being Asian, but it can be. We're not making this all into negatives, but we're just saying.
Yeah, it's just more of the stigma and everything that comes with it. But I do think, on a positive note, there is a massive shift in the Asian community, and the modern way of thinking is definitely peeking through, which is nice to see, I think. And I think generations like ours will make the difference for the future generations and our kids and whatnot. So I think that's a good thing.
And who knows, like, expectations might not be a thing then.
Yeah.
Like, when we.
Well, I don't even think marrying within culture or everything like that, I think that's going to disappear.
Yeah,
after our generation, I think.
Yeah, that's also an expectation, isn't it? You know.
Oh yeah.
You sort of, and that's also a pressure. Like, oh, you've got to marry. It used to be, you've got to marry from your own caste. Well, particularly for us Gujaratis and Indians, and then it changed to, oh, you're going to marry someone that's Gujarati. And then it changed to, oh,
you've got to marry someone that's Indian. And
right.
then Asian.
But it's not even got to Asian yet. It's stuck at Indian. That's what I think anyway. I'm not. But at the moment,
some Punjabis and Gujaratis now get married, so that's quite a.
But then the moment you go completely outside of the Indian culture, it's like
it's seen as, oh my god, I can't believe this person did this. I can't believe they did that. But honestly, the amount of like interracial couples I know, like the English person, the English groom or English bride, they're more keen to learn about the Indian culture than the actual Indians themselves, which I think is phenomenal. So yeah.
But guys, honestly, no pressure. I don't take any pressure as it is. Right,
Yeah.
I'm nerveless, but don't think you do to an extent. You just
not to these expectations. I think you just have to live life. Life is too short. You've got to live life how you want to live it and just enjoy.
Absolutely, guys.
But anyway, time for some fun. It's game time.
It is game time, and today's game is
Finish
the expectation. That's to read what I put on my whiteboard. Is we are going to.
We're going to finish each other's sentences. No, we're going to finish some sentences.
We are. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Should we just do like 3 or 4?
Yeah, I mean, well, we can pick one from each.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 7 different categories. Okay. General life expectations, school and learning, family and home, friends and social life, social media and society, light and funny, and then spicier.
Can you tell that Hemil ChatGPT'd these?
They are slightly ChatGPT'd.
Slightly.
Sponsored by ChatGPT.
IT.
Hint, hint.
IT expert.
IT expert, yeah.
IT.
But basically, like Hirali said, it's finish the sentence. So I'm going to read a phrase or the start of a phrase or a sentence, and Hirali can say the rest of that line, whatever comes into her head first. Okay.
Okay.
So
we haven't thought about these, and we haven't even looked at them, by the way.
But that's the benefit of the game. So if I said to you, Hirali, let's just start the game.
I thought we were starting.
Well, we are starting the game. General life expectations is the first category. I'm going to read a sentence.
Okay.
Ooh, these are quite juicy. I didn't expect that adulthood would involve so much.
Cleaning.
Okay, interesting.
There's a lot of cleaning. Like, I go to people's houses and I'm like, how are your houses so clean? I feel like I'm constantly cleaning and my house isn't clean.
But
I love Zaflora, so if Zaflora wants to sponsor me, then please do.
Yeah, you are consistently. We went to Costco.
I love linen fresh Zaflora, guys. Like, it's my favourite thing in the world, and I just want to put it everywhere in the house. So it just makes me happy. That scent. I bought a double pack in Costco the other day.
Swiftly moving on, guys.
Okay.
School and learning. I expected school to prepare me for
A mortgage. I didn't want to learn about algebra and Pythagoras theorem and simultaneous equations. I wanted to learn about how to get a mortgage and how to save money and how to invest. And no one teaches you that. You just have to learn from like your parents and external family and like the internet. And it's quite sad because I don't think school equips you for real life if you're not going into like a core subject like maths, English or science.
I'm trying to think, did we learn about mortgages? I think we did a bit. We did a little bit. We did loans. I remember doing loans. But we
That's
did.
good. I don't think I even learned about that.
Yeah, I don't think we did mortgages, to be honest. We did loans, definitely did loans. Last one from me, and then you can question me. I didn't expect family expectations to.
I didn't expect family expectations to. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know.
I don't really understand. I do. What your family?
No, any.
Is this in marriage or in general?
Marriage.
I didn't expect family expectations. I don't know.
Okay. You already doesn't know, but ask for another one.
I don't know what you want me to say. Like, to be so high.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
But I don't think they're high. I just think they're different. I didn't expect family expectations to be not different. Yeah, I didn't expect family expectations to be so different.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
That took me a while to understand.
That's fair. You know, that's totally fair. You know that.
Not good or bad, but they're just different. Like, I think you've grown up with what you've grown up with, and you've got to learn a new way of living.
Took a bit of time. You're already your turn.
Okay. Friends and social life. So I expected friendships to be
less. What's the word? Less interactive. So the reason why I say that is after you get married, and it might just be a taboo, it's like everyone drifts their own way slightly. Okay. And I know 3 of my friends are married, 1 isn't, but it's particularly my friendship, we all stuck around together, and we've made that conscious effort that no, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if we're married. We are still going to put that effort in for our girls. Sorry guys, that was a mistake. For the boys. So we do a weekly update, for example.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, that's what I thought would happen.
Okay, one from social media and society. I expected social media to make me feel
worried.
Okay.
Reason why I say that, because again, it kind of links into the social media and married life topic that we touched upon. the reason why I say worried is it just sounded too good to be true.
Mm.
Just sounded too good to be true. You know, you hear this, oh, I went out with my husband this today, or I went out with my wife today, did this, did that, did this, did that. And you're thinking, right, okay. In my head, I'm like, are you actually at home ever? Do you have a mortgage to pay? You know, things like that. But, and also like, are you just giving me all the good stuff and not the bad stuff? But yeah.
Okay. I didn't expect myself to care so much about
Expectations. I think when you get married, there are like lots of expectations. I think from both sides of family. You know, sometimes they'll expect you to go to events, and you might not be able to make it to events. For example, you might want to leave early from some because you're not feeling well, or you've got something the next day. And sometimes you've just got to take it on the chin and just turn around and go, it is my life now, and I'm doing what I want. But not worry about what the outcome might be necessarily. So like, if I was to leave your event early, I can't worry about what you would say because it's for my benefit, if that makes sense. Yeah.
True.
That's what I mean.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah,
That's
guys,
positive. Game time.
let us know what you thought of expectation game. Slightly different this week,
Yeah.
but a bit more serious.
A bit more serious, yeah. We love a bit of a serious pod occasionally, which is quite nice. But yeah, we hope you found this interesting and we'd love to hear your thoughts. So please comment below your thoughts about this topic.
Thoughts, feelings, suggestions, as Heerali says.
Yeah, that's our thing. Thoughts, feelings, suggestions.
But guys, don't forget to like,
subscribe,
and just love our content.
And share.
Oh yeah, and
Please.
share. I thought share.
Yeah, we forget share. Please share this with your friends. Yeah. Like, we want everyone to hear about us.
We do. Yeah, we're just amazing.
And what we've got to talk about.
I'm amazing. You're amazing.
We're all amazing.